This is a 2-band wire vertical antenna on 40 and 20 metres. It's 10.6 metres of lightweight wire suspended on a lightweight pole. I got this pole a while back. It's not for fishing or for ham radio. It's a Balinese decorative flagpole, and I can extend its length further because it snugly fits into the coupling fitting on 20mm PVC. That gets it about 1.5 metres higher again. So the PVC riser is 1 to 1.5 metres to that coupling piece. Then the 6-metre pole, the flagpole, just slots in there right at the top. I think the best place to sit the coupler is just at that point there, so it's clear of the ground. So because we have 10 metres of wire, about 4 and a bit metres comes off the end. That's tied via a nylon cord off to a tree or a support, trying to keep it as horizontal as possible. So it's not really a 10-metre vertical element, it's a 10-metre inverted L, worked against ground on 40 or against just the coax counterpoise on 20. The simple idea behind this antenna is that a quarter wavelength of wire on 40 metres, 10.6 metres, doubles as a half wavelength on 20 metres. So on 40 metres, a quarter wavelength of wire will present an impedance of around about 50 ohms, and as an end-fed half wave on 20 metres, 3.5 to 4,500 ohms. The matching and switching unit is simply a double pole toggle switch so that the RF power from the transmitter is switched straight through onto the driven element for 40 metres. So you've got a ground plane working against quarter wave ground plane radials or counterpoise. And in the 20 metre position, the RF power is switched onto an impedance matching transformer. Now, this is a tuned secondary transformer taken from AA5 Tango Bravo. So a lot of simple end-fed half waves don't have this tuning capacitor here. They have an untuned secondary, so they're a basic impedance transformer. These have the advantage that they are broadbanded and they give you access to the higher harmonically related bands. Adam K6ARK has a nice video where he shows you how to tune the number of turns on the transformer's secondary and the wire length to get a perfect SWR. And I could have done that here. However, the tuning capacitor allows me to get an exact resonance at a precise frequency that I'm interested in, which I like. The tuning capacitor is a poly varicap, and with the two segments in parallel, I'm measuring about 225 picofarad. And the impedance transformation is 3 turns primary, 27 turns secondary. So a 1:9 ratio, a 1:81 impedance transformation ratio, which transforms approximately 50 ohms to around 4K. Looking into the matching unit, the RF power on 40 metres is switched straight through to the red banana socket to the vertical driven element. When the switch is switched to 20 metres, the RF power is switched straight on to the 3-turn primary and the 27-turn secondary, and parallel capacitor is returned back via the switch to the same line out to the driven element. During the backyard test, I got a nice sharp resonance on 7080, an SWR of around 1.08 to 1. A flick of the switch and the test continues on 20 metres with a nice sharp resonance at 14040, an SWR of 1.09 to 1. The same matching unit can also be used to tune a 20 metre long length of wire, an end-fed half wave on 40 or an end-fed full wave on 20. There's the 20 metre peak and now the 40 metre peak. The next thing was to take it to a soda activation. Here's Mount Mitchell, about an hour and a half northeast of Melbourne. I made a few improvements to the mounting. I added a 25mm PVC piece and used a 25 down to 20mm plumbers adapter to fit it to the two 20mm pieces. This made a much more secure housing for the Balinese flagpole. The whole purpose of this antenna is to make it freestanding, because if you have a tree or a support or a full-size squid pole, you may as well run an end-fed 20-metre wire. So here it is, tied with its three guys. The whole setup took about 10 minutes. The antenna kit is quite lightweight and it's ready for use on a summit with no trees.